There's a lot of talk out there about emotional eating. Some of it helpful, most of it crap. Just utter nonsense. Let's talk about it right here. Welcome to the Intuitive Eating Mama podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer D'Amato. I am an intuitive eating counselor and I'm also a mom to 4. This podcast is not just for mamas, it's for all women who are ready to ditch diets, ditch the scale and food guilt forever, and instead invite peace with food, increase their body trust, and confidence in all of her choices. I believe this show is going to shed some light on sneaky ways diet culture has infiltrated your thoughts, your family, and your well-being. No matter the episode, I want you to walk away feeling informed, inspired, and encouraged. So whether you're taking a walk, washing the dishes, or carting kids around, let's dive into the latest episode on the Intuitive Eating Mama podcast. I think I have been an emotional eater for all of my life, but I spent probably a good 15 years at least. I'm going to say 15 when I'm doing very quick math in my head here. 15 years of my life feeling horrible about myself for emotionally eating. I can tell you as a young child, I can never imagine feeling guilty for having that popsicle after I fell down or my mother giving me a bottle when I was crying. All emotional eating. No, never judged it, never once. However, late teens, early 20s came on hard and fast. You're not supposed to emotionally eat. Like, that's not something that a healthy, well-adjusted person does. Okay, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It's not funny because we carry those beliefs around with us that emotional eating makes us bad, that there's something wrong with us if we've ever used food to cope. Except I still go back to my own sweet babies who cried and got the breast or a bottle. I go back to when we were celebrating their birthday or a great achievement and we made cake or some other deliciousness. I think it was maybe the first ever dance recital my oldest was in. After the dance recital, we went out and had ice cream, like to celebrate. And then it became this tradition after every single dance recital. And she looked forward to it. They all did. I mean, this was a tradition that we created to celebrate. They never judged it. I didn't judge that. However, I carried so much guilt and shame if I was stressed and ate something at the end of the day. If I was bored or procrastinating, oh man, procrastination eating. Let me tell you, that is a real thing. If you don't experience it, I give you all the props in the world, but it is very real for me. Let's avoid doing all of these things and let's go find a snack. I would judge myself, beat myself up. I would have to make penance the next day if I did this. At least 15 years of my life, feeling like I was wrong, something was wrong with me, I was a failure, I had no willpower, that word, if I emotionally ate. But there's a reason we emotionally eat. And it's not because we lack willpower. It's not because there's something wrong with us. It's because it works. It's because it gives us the moment, the relief, the release. It gives us the temporary fix. And it is temporary. I am not in any way suggesting this is your coping mechanism. This is how you cope. However, it can lessen an emotion. It can take you out from where you are. It can comfort you. And for most of us, food is easily accessible. It's easier to grab that snack open up that ice cream, have some chips, than it is to try to get in a therapy session in the middle of the day. I mean, can we be honest? Even at the end of the day, like it's easier to use food to cope. My heart and what I help women with is that it's not the only way to cope. It doesn't have to be your main coping mechanism. But first and foremost, what if we stop judging it? What if we stop judging ourselves for emotionally eating? What if you remove that part first? Now, you might be like, Jen, that sounds really, really great, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know what it's going to take. Well, if you've been around here for a while, you know I never leave you hanging. And I have been working on creating an absolutely free training for you when it comes to emotional eating. Now, the focus will be stress and boredom, though, as you've just heard, your girl really was a procrastinator eater for a very long time. And there's still times it shows up today. But the main focus will be stress and boredom. Those are emotions. I would say a lot of the women I talk to, they're like, when it comes to emotional eating, I'm not necessarily crying into, my pint of ice cream. I'm stressed and overwhelmed, or I'm just bored. What do I do? So I decided the best way to help you was to give you 2 amazing, helpful, effective ways to address that, like actual solutions. And I'm creating this, I'm putting the final touches, even as I'm sharing this with you, like last minute touches on this training that will be held on May 16th. Now, the only place that I'm actually hosting this free training is in my private group on Facebook. I know I didn't want to set up all the Zoom things and do all of that. And I love bringing free trainings to the women in that group. They are like hungry for that support and encouragement and tools. And that's exactly where I'm hosting it. So if you have not joined us yet in that group, I just want to encourage you to hop into the show notes, head to where it says join free private community and come hang out with us. I understand that Facebook can be like a black hole, especially with groups. There's a great feature where you can pin the group to your side. So when you're on your main page, looking at all your friends, pictures of their kids and their dogs and their vacations and all of those things right on the left side, if you pin the group, it will show up right there. Intuitive eating, food freedom, one bite at a time with me, the intuitive eating mama. Like that's the group I would love to have you join for this free training. You will absolutely walk away with specific tools and strategies to help you with stress eating and boredom eating. They work because my clients use them. They work because it's the tools that I've used. They work. And I want to be able to gift those to you. I'll also go ahead in that training and take some time because I have something for this summer that I'm really excited to share with you. So please come for the tools and strategies and stay for all the other goodness. I like to give as much as I can to support you on your journey. And that's exactly what I'm doing right there in that group and in that training on May 16th. All right. I'm so excited. Hop into the show notes. You probably already did. So if you hadn't, though, hop into the show notes, join that group. I'll make sure you get all the goodness that's coming from that training. I cannot wait to welcome you in. All right. Until next week.